Lions Lounge number 2. I'm joined by ex-Lions striker Gary Alexander. Gal, thanks a lot for joining us.
No problem.
Okay, so growing up, you was a Millwall fan, is that right?
Yeah, well, I grew up at Elephant and Castle, so a lot of my friends from school, a lot of kids I hung around with used to go to Millwall, so I used to tag along with them and used to go and watch plenty of games.
Good. 2007, you left Leighton Orient and you got a chance to join the club. How did that come about, and was there other interest from other clubs? Why Millwall for you?
To be honest, it was a case of I was on a free transfer at the end of the season. Orient were trying to tie me down to a contract, but I was on a free. Someone phoned me up and said there was a little bit of interest from Millwall. So as soon as I heard that, I was coming back to South London straight away. I was born and bred South London, so I wanted to come. Chance to play for Millwall was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. So to be honest, I didn't even think about any other interest. I just had one thing, and that was signing at Millwall.
That's brilliant. That's good to hear. First season, we done all right. Second season, I see you actually signed. You signed by Willie Donachie. Is that right?
Yeah, Willie.
One of the good things he did at the club. But most of the time, you played on the Kenny jacket. How did you find Kenny?
No, Kenny was brilliant. I loved my time under Kenny. He was a great manager. We've seen what he'd done to Millwall. He left us in a good state. He obviously moved on. But no, fantastic coach, good man as well. Got on really well with him. And to be honest, to this day, I still have the odd text with Kenny.
Yeah, he seems like a good bloke. So say our first season, he sort of kept us up. The second season, we pushed for a promotion. We got to the final. I know you must get asked all the time about your goal. For anyone in the unlikely event you haven't seen it, just quickly get on this.
Whitbread with a header. Alexander tries an instinctive volley. Oh, what a goal that is! That is one of the greatest goals you will ever see at Wembley from Gary Alexander to put Millwall level. And just look at these fans. They are going absolutely potty. You can say anything.
Nothing short of sensational. Unbelievable scenes, Jeff. Gal, talk us through that goal. What was going through your mind there?
To be honest, I remember Zach Whitbread claiming an assist for heading it back into play, but no, I think I just tried to take it on my chest. It might come from my chin, but it sat nicely, and I just thought, why not shoot? And it's one of them. It either flies in top corner or flies in rose head, and you can imagine some of the hand signals if I shot from there and it went in the stand from that sort of range. Why has he hit that? But lucky enough, it flew in the top corner for me. So happy days.
I was right behind it, and you see the upper tail. I remember going absolutely crackers. How many? If that was me, my mates will know. I'll be watching that 50 times a day. I'll be watching it every day. How often do you watch? You have a little look on YouTube occasionally?
No, well, I've got a 5-year-old son, Rocco, who obviously wasn't born at the time, but whenever he's playing football and someone does something, he'll go, "You're trying to Gary Alexander," you know, like, I'm like, "Leave it now, Rocco," but he reminds me most days about it. He sits and watches it on his iPad and he says he's tried the Gary Alexander, and you're like, "Rocco, that's enough of that." But no, you know, it's nice that the kids can enjoy it. You know, so I would have rather win the game than score that goal, but obviously I've got to live the other way round, and I've scored that goal and lost the game, but that's life. You know, I've got good memories of it, so can't complain.
Yeah, that was my next question. You went on to score again in the game. 2 before half time, he's 2 up. Ended up losing to Scunthorpe 3-2 at Wembley. It's every boy's dream to score at Wembley. You've gone to score 2, but then we've lost. Was it mixed emotions in the dressing room after? What was the feeling like for you?
No, obviously devastation. Went there to win the game. As I said, I swapped my 2 goals for a 1-0 win any day of the week, but it wasn't to be. I had the chance of hat trick. I connected with a header too well. It was like, I thought the defender was going to flick it, but I've jumped to head it. He's got a slight nick on it, and I've headed it too well. The other side of the post. On another day I'd have had a hat trick, but then on another day if that header goes in, I might not have scored a volley. You know, it swings and roundabouts, but that's life, and it's something I can't look back on. You know, I've scored at Wembley. I used to play Wembley as a kid in the park. You know, any kid what says they haven't played Wembley in the park is lying. But to actually go to the place to score is a dream come true for me.
Brilliant. I mean, what was the mood like in the change room afterwards? I mean, if that was me, I'd be like, I know we've lost, boys, but seriously, did you get on my goal? Was it proper down for everyone?
Yeah, proper downer. To be honest, we went back to a hotel. I didn't stay there long. I think I ended up in one of them late night kebabs in Dulwich, you know, like drowning my sorrows on my own, or with my missus dragging her along. But it was, it's obviously not a nice feeling losing the game. It's devastation, and obviously the fans that day deserve to win, you know, like 50,000 was there. It's gutting we couldn't have been, because I imagine the party would have been unreal, but everyone went home just as gutted as obviously we were. There was nothing to say to us in the dressing room, because we probably should have won the day. That day.
I mean, you said about the fans. We went back the next year. Obviously, the feeling amongst the fans was it was more business than pleasure the next year. You didn't actually get to play because you've been injured a lot of the season. So again, was that mixed emotions for you? I remember seeing you on the pitch and you was going absolutely nuts afterwards. So
no, obviously I was part of that squad. We had a squad there. Even though I've been out most of the season, I was still part of it massively. I was in the dressing room before every game, home and away. And then obviously to get the chance just to be on the bench after being out so long was a bonus for myself. So I was happy with that. I must admit, Kenny kept me on the bench. I was coming on for about 8 minutes and the ball wouldn't go out of play, so I do give Kenny a bit of stick for that. But that's life, that's football. But we won that day, Robbo's goal, and it made up for the year after. Right? It could have been a year earlier, it made up a year later, and we certainly had a party that year.
Yeah, go on, tell me, give me something.
No, back to the hotel, not like that. We had a good drink, put it that way. But it was a good crack, and as I said, the lads deserved it from that season, from being unlucky the season before. You see our team struggle, obviously, after making playoff final and defeat. You see our team struggle the next season, and obviously it showed the character of the lads to go on and make the playoffs again, and then to go on and win it was massive.
Yeah, it's got almost like a hoodoo. People thinking it's never ever going to happen, and it did happen. You left the club later that year. You joined Brentford. Obviously, you didn't want to leave. How did that come about, and why Brentford?
No, to be honest, it was. I played with Scotty, who was the Brentford manager, but I'd had a chat with Kenny, and he obviously with my injury, it was touch and go with my injury. To be fair, some people were saying I might never play again, but I believed I could. I eventually had the op, came back, and then Kenny just said, obviously you've been out a long time. First team opportunities might be few and far between, and I was like, well, okay, I want to play football and as many games as possible. I don't want to be a player who's known for sitting there and picking up his wages and not playing football. Brentford offered me the opportunity. I think after I left there, I still went on to play over 200 games with various other clubs.
He's got a lot of goals. You scored a lot of goals for before me. He's got a lot of goals in your career.
So for various other clubs, obviously I went on to play another 200 odd games, which after being told at 29-30, your career could be over if you have this operation. It was again an added bonus for me.
Yeah. During your time at Millwall, you obviously partnered Neil Harris. Fair deal. How was he as a player, and how do you see him progressing as a manager?
Yeah, no, Neil was a great player. Obviously, played against Neil a few times years before, obviously, and to play with him, obviously, he's the all-time record goal scorer. To play with him was good. His movement's unbelievable, finishing, different class, and obviously he's took it on into his managing and winning games and got us challenging for promotion again this year. So hopefully they can go on and make if they can't make the top two, then make the playoffs and repeat what we did a few years back.
Yeah, let's hope so. We need to get back into that championship and get pushing, get back to where we belong. Moving on to what you're up to now. Do you want to fill in on what you're up to nowadays? Yeah,
to be honest, obviously after retiring a couple of years back, I came down and played non-league with Greenwich Borough. Got the opportunity to become the manager just before Christmas. So I'm managing this. It's busier than you think. Even though it's part-time, it's almost a full-time job. We're sitting here at the ground now doing a bit of work because we're moving here for the new season down to Badgers in Greenwich. So we're back in the borough, which will be good. We're opening the ground actually against Millwall, so hopefully if you can get down on, I think it's Friday the 29th of July, it'll be the first game at the ground. It's not a new ground, but the works will be done, and if we can get a little bit of a crowd, it'd be great for the club. So that's basically what I'm up to at the moment.
Good. And finally, if you can, without stitching anyone up, give us one changing room story or one funny time story you got from down the den.
I have to go back to, I think it was when David A was fighting Enzo Maccarelli. We'd sorted out tickets. I think we had a couple of spare, so we was in the dressing room talking about it. And Preston Edwards said he'd love to come, so I said, "It's alright, I've got a couple of spare tickets. You can come. Him and his pal will come. But you got to wear a tux." No, you don't have to wear a tux. He said. I said, "No, you've got to wear a tux, mate." I said, "You don't see Don King round the ring without a tux on." So I've made sure every member of staff, every player was in on it. He's going around questioning. He went, all right. So the game's finished. We've won. He's got his bonus. He's shot off. I think he told me the other day, I see him the other day, he said that cost me £250 that suit. Turned up at the O2, we was in tie silk having a few beers in shirts and jeans cash, and those walked past the window, Preston and his mate wearing a tux. He just looked at us, so you can imagine the words he said. And,
did he stay with the fight or did he go and get changed?
No, he stayed for the side. I think the dicky bow might have come off, but he was full Monty Don Kinged up. But that's one I'll never forget. It was quite funny because he'd gone round questioning it, and everyone was in on it, so he weren't happy at spending that win bonus.
Blindly, Gal, thanks a lot for joining us. All the best at Greenwich Borough.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.